Well, good evening and welcome to the RP Lumber Center, where we are live for Game 2 of Highland versus Triad as we get ready to drop the puck. Opening ceremonies of game number 2 will commence with our starting lineups. Start with your Highland Bulldog lineup. Number 3, Wyatt Rinder. Number 79, Landon Hicks. Number 14, Cooper Hicks. Number 34, Jake the Snake Resman. And wearing number 12, Josh Resman Jr. And in between the pipes tonight, wearing the double 8s, Wade Konieczny. We'll rise for our national anthem. Game 2, a must-win for the Bulldogs. Packed stands here tonight. Nowhere to park in the parking lot. I thought it was odd as I drove to Edwardsville. I made it through every traffic light on green. That's because everybody was here. Granite and Edwardsville played just before this game, and Edwardsville advances to the final against Belleville as they won 5-1. 14 minutes on the clock to start the first period. Resman to take the draw. The battle for puck possession. He'll chip it up the boards. McFarland will settle it on the glass. He'll go cross ice for a stretch pass, looking for Perschbacher, but Resman will pick that off. That's Jake Flavor. Hicks tries to jam it forward. That's offside. And we'll get a whistle. And a neutral ice face-off as Triad brings it in early and places the puck. Face-off will be right off the Bulldog bench. Resman back on the draw. It's one over to Hicks, over to Resman, back to Hicks on defense. He'll go up the boards looking for Resman. He'll knock that loose and throw it into the zone. Kadich out to settle it. He'll leave it for Yurt, who rims it around the boards. That's going to be held at the blue line by Resman, but only for a moment. Now it's Perschbacher off the other way, a 2-on-1. Over to the far side. Konechny with a save. Moore throws it back into the zone. Perschbacher settles the pass, and he'll dump it. Cooper Hicks will rim it around the boards for Jake the Snake. Over to Gunter, who's fresh off the bench. Gunter going to wind up the boards for Rinder. Rinder leads it up, back up to Gunter. He'll bring it in wide around Matheny. Gunter, shot, loose right in front, and that's cleared over to the far boards where Gunter picks it up, works it over to Tolley. Tolley can't hold on to it, and then the Knights will throw it down the ice. Big hit by Tolley on Blevins. He'll hold on to it. Arabic trying to work it out. That's cut off by Rosenberg. Thrown back down and in. Hoyt picks it up, and he'll wheel it around the far side for Gunter, who lets it go out into neutral ice. And now Triad will bring it back in. Nimmo with a big hit. This crowd is electric tonight. Over to Gunter. He'll walk it behind his own net. Gets his pocket picked by Davis. They center it. Chopped away by Tolley. Held by McDowell at the blue line, but Gunter gets it up. Looking for Hoyt just out of his reach. Hoyt will pick it up on the far boards. Drops it off for Gunter. Back into the corner. Gunter battles with a couple of Knights in the corner. Nimmo tries to pick it away. Resman in the corner. That's going to come out to neutral ice where Resman will settle it. That's Jake the Snake Flavor, and he'll throw it down and in. And they'll say that was an icing whistle. And they'll pull it back down to the left to Konechny in net. Run over to Rinder. He's going to chip it down the ice. McFarland can't hold him off. And then they get a body in the lane. And Rinder is going to go to the box on a hit onto one of the Knights. We're going to call it a hold. Face-off will be to the right of Konechny. It'll be Resman Hicks up front, backed up by Resman and Lai. One over to the far boards. Resman pushes it up to the other Resman. He'll feed it down the ice, looking for Hicks. Kadich will clear it back up the boards. Lai is able to hold. Hicks knocks it down. He follows it up against Moore. And Resman will cut off Blevins. Lai up the boards. Pushes Perschbacher off the puck. And that's going to go down the ice for Kadich. He turns it over almost to Resman, but he can't settle it. Now it's back the other way. They fire one. That's blocked off of the stick of Barabic and up into the netting. And we'll get a whistle. And a defensive zone face-off. Hoyt on the draw. Ties up Triad. It goes into the corner for Arabic. He tries to clear it up the boards, but it's all Knights. Over from the far side, they try to throw it on net. That's off of the stick of Arabic, and Hoyt on a big forecheck takes down McFarland, but the Knights will recover it. They'll bring it back in over the blue line. Arabic in, takes the body. Nemo turns it over. That'll go off the body and up into the netting. And we'll get another defensive zone face-off with 10:06 left to go in the first period. 46 more seconds left to go on the renderer penalty kill. Hicks will take the draw. He's flanked by Gunter, backed up by Hicks and Arabic. Hicks wins it back to Arabic. Arabic tries to clear it up the boards. Knights will center it. They'll center it again, but nobody's home. Bad turnover there by the Bulldogs is miscommunication. Knights work it right out in front. Shot saved by Konechny. Rebound. Blocked away. And Hicks has got to get this out of the zone. He'll throw the brakes on. He'll clear it hard down the ice. And Kadich is out to settle it behind his net. Knights will rim it around. Blevins sends it far side. Resman's going to settle that. Go hard back up the boards. That's going to go all the way down again, and that'll just about kill off the renderer penalty. He's out of the box. Bulldogs kill it off, and that'll get sent over to the near glass for Resman. Back over to Tolley on the far side. Stretch pass picked off by the Knights, and Blevins will bring it in wide. They snap one off the side of the net. And Tolley will walk it around his own net. He'll send it back for Jake the Snake Resman. Doubles back into the near corner. Goes up the far side for Render. Render checked off the puck. And Matheny will go right up the center. Turned over to Tolley. Up the boards, looking for Render again. He's not able to settle the pass, and it's down and in. Knights send it back up the wing. Resman tries to chip, and now it's going to be Hirschbacher that walks in. Shot goes wide, blocker side. Urick will pick it up at the red line. He'll shovel it up the boards. And Nemo takes a hit. Should be a high stick as well. But they blew it offside, and they're going to pull it all the way back down to the Knights' blue line. Hoyt on the draw. Knights bring it in. Arabic back to pick it up and below his goal line. He'll rim it around. Looking to find his way to Gunter. He fans on the pass, but totally redeems himself and makes it over to Hicks. Hicks fires one on net, and no rebound as Hoyt crashes the net with 7:55 left to go in the first period. 0-0 is the score. Shots are 5-4 in favor of the Knights. One over into the corner by the Knights. Good pressure there by Hicks. Gets it over to Gunter. Gunter trying to get it set up. He's bodied down by Urick. Out to Arabic at the point. He'll throw it cross corner looking for Hoyt. It's going to make its way around for Gunter. He'll send it back over to Hoyt. Out front, Hicks tries to jam it on net. And Hoyt over in the far corner. Gets it down low for Gunter. Back up to Arabic. Arabic tries to get it back down low to Hoyt. He finds its way through. And Hoyt will chase to the corner. Back over for Gunter. Back over for Hoyt. Good puck movement tonight. Just can't get it out in front of the net. Hicks right in front. Can't get the shot off as he's tied up. Out to Hicks at the point. He'll fire that wide. And McFarland takes offense as Kadich comes out far to play the puck and makes contact with Hicks. 7:02 left to go in the first period. 0-0 is the score. Resman out to take the draw with Brinder and Nimmo on the wings. They try to work it in front. Nimmo with the big cross check, and he's going to go to the box as the Knights bring it in wide. Brinder with another hit. And McDowell will drop it off far side for Davis, who dumps it down and in for Blevins. And Bulldogs will settle it, and that's going to end the odd man rush for the Knights. Nimmo will go to the box on a cross check. We're actually going to take one for the Knights as well. Blevins will go to the box. I did not see the call on that, but that would explain the stoppage. And now we'll have a 5-on-5, I believe. Brinder, Hicks, Brinder, Resman, and Weiss. Backed up by Resman and Hicks. Rimmed up the boards for Weiss. He can't clear it out as McFarland holds. Picked away by Jake the Snake Resman. He'll get it out to neutral ice. And the Bulldogs try to recover in neutral ice. Brinder is able to pick it away. He'll send it far side. Knights are able to hold as they read that play well. That's cleared out to the point. Urich will fire it in. Shot save. Hicks will clear out the top of the crease. Thrown back in. That goes off a body and wide. Knights set it up out for McFarland. Urich throws it back in. Redirected. And shot. Goal. They are waving that off. They're waving off the goal. I didn't see why. I'm going to say it was a high stick, I do believe. High stick or a hand pass, I do believe. So they're waving it off. Hoyt on the draw with Hicks and Gunter. Hoyt takes off but loses the handle at the blue line, and now it's back the other way for the Knights. Hicks will pick it up, take it for a walk behind his own net, sends it around for Tolley. Tolley up the boards for Gunter. He'll loft it out of the zone for Hicks and Hoyt. And they're going to say that was offside. Yeah, they'll take the face-off just outside of the Knights' blue line. Hoyt back on the draw. McFarland picks it up for the Knights. He'll bring it in, tries to bring it in wide. Chipped away by Gunter. And he'll throw that on net. Tadic will freeze it for a whistle. And we'll get an ozone face-off with 5:22 left to go in the first period. 0-0 is the score. Hoyt looking to win it back. He tries to push it out to the point, but that's cut off by the Knights, and now it's a poked away. That's offside. As the Knights came in offside as they lost the handle at the blue line, and so we'll get a face-off off the Bulldog bench. Resman, Weiss, and Rinder up front, backed up by Arabic and Lai. Knights send it over to the near side. They throw that off wide to Konieczny. Arabic drops it back. Goes up the boards for Rinder. Knights come away with it. Fan on the shot by Perschbacher, and Rinder will fire that back out to the point. Settled by McDowell. He'll walk the line. Sends it right in front. Shot goes wide from Carey. Lai pokes it away. He'll get it up the boards for Rinder. He gets it out of the zone. He tries to make a move. Holds on to it. He'll dump it in. And the Bulldogs will go in on the forecheck as Kadich settles it behind his own net. Rinder throws it towards the net, right in front. Oh, Weiss can't settle it. And Resman fires it on net. That's a save by Kadich with the glove. They'll hold it at 0-0 with 4:26 left to go in the first period. 8 shots apiece is what the scoreboard says. Knights have set the pace tonight so far with more ozone time for sure. Hoyt takes the draw. Hicks chases into the corner. Hoyt picks it up. He's going to send that out to Aravik at the point. Aravik fires it in, cut off. And now it's down the ice. Aravik in a foot race. And they're going to say Miller draws a penalty. Oh, that's weak. That's weak. They're going to send, I believe it's going to be Lai to the box. I did not see the call on that play. I'm assuming holding. Hoyt on the draw. Wins it over to the near boards. Perschbacher will fire one that goes off the side of the net. Right out front. Saved by Konieczny. Goal. As they pick up a rebound. And hammer it in blocker side. With 3:55 left to go, the Knights will take the lead. 3:55 left to go in the first period. Knights will take the lead just 13 seconds into the power play. Nimmo on the draw with Orn and Rinder. One over to Orn. He'll chip it into the zone. Rinder in on the forecheck. They go up the boards. Nimmo tries to poke it down and in. Knights will pick it back up. Rinder will chase. That'll go up the boards. Resman tries to hold. Now it's back the other way. Nimmo knocks Perschbacher off the puck. Picks it up. Skates it around the net. Chips it out for Rinder. Rinder over to Nimmo. Nimmo can't settle it. Now it's back the other way. Knights bring it in 4 wide. McFarland dances. He's going to go for the wraparound. He'll throw the brakes on in the corner. Tries to center it right in front. And Hicks will pick that up, get it over to Rinder, and he'll skate it out of the zone. Rinder chips it in. Kadich out to play it. And the Knights will lift that out of the zone. Jake the Snake Resman fires it down and in. Bulldogs will tag up and go back in on the forecheck. Knights up the near boards. Resman takes the body. Hicks will pick up the puck. That's Cooper Flavor over to Gunter. Gunter looks to get it set up with 2:33 left to go in the first. He'll throw it in and chase it down. Gunter circles the net. Centers it over to Resman. Resman shot. And Kadich gets it frozen for a whistle. He'll take the face-off to his left, I believe. 2:20 left to go in the first period. Shot saved by Kadich off the stick of Gunter. Cleared down the ice by the Knights. It's going to go on net. Konieczny sets it up for Aravik. Aravik rims it around for Gunter. Gunter tries for the drop pass. Davis picks it up, but knocked away by Aravik. And Resman fires it up the far boards. Settled at the blue line. Out to neutral ice. Thrown back in by Nemo. They'll tag up, and Resman will go in on the forecheck. McDowell gets away with a hold. Resman throws it back down and in for Nemo. Nemo trying to work it around the inboards. That's going to go over to the far side for Carey. Hauer fresh off the bench, shovels it towards the net. Nemo on the near glass, over to Hauer. Hauer fires one, shot saved. Rebound, Resman. And they can't tuck it in. Tolley fires one, that goes wide, and that's poked out of the zone. Bulldogs will tag up, and that's cleared all the way down the ice by the Knights. We'll get a icing whistle and an O-zone face-off to the left of Kadich with 1 minute left to go in the first period. 1-0 Triad is the scores. They get a power play goal midway through the first. 12 shots apiece on net. Hoyt, Hauer, and Nemo on the draw, backed up by Lai and Jake the Snake Resman. Knights bring it out of the zone. They'll throw it in, and Lai will pick it up. He'll circle the net. Right up the center. He's looking for Nemo, and that's going to go all the way down for an icing whistle with 43 seconds left to go in the first period. We'll get a face-off to the right at Konieczny. Lai rims it around for Hicks. Hicks brings it down the near glass. He'll skate it in wide. Tries to center it. Nobody's in front. Lai at the point. Trying to work it back down for Gunter. It's going to come loose to Hicks. Hicks will throw it on net. Glove save. Gunter from the corner. Works it around the defense. Holding on to it. Gets it in the corner for Rinder. Hicks will cut it off down low. He's trying to battling with McFarland. And that's they're going to say that was up an elbow on, I believe, Gunter. So the Bulldogs will take their third penalty. Nemo, Lai, Hoyt, and Resman out to take the draw. Resman, that's Jake Flavor on defense. You're taking that down, for some reason, not in the zone. Nemo picks it up, loses the handle. Knights work it north. Hirschbacher trying to get there. And Nemo will kill it off. With the first period will end with a score of 1-0 Knights. Be another minute 53 left to kill off in the Gunter penalty. As we'll get back to the second period here in just a quick break. Start of the second period, we'll get Hoyt Nemo up front, backed up by Cooper Hicks and Jake Resman. Minute 53 left to kill off in the penalty. Hoyt tying it up at center ice. Knights will come away with it. He'll chip it up the boards. Resman throws it back up the boards, and Nemo will go in on the forecheck. McFarland takes it over to the far side. Back in for Resman. He's checked down from behind. No call on that play. Hoyt will take it in low. They do make the call. The back referee, the one furthest away possible, blows the whistle on the hit from behind on Hoyt, I believe. We're going to send Urich to the box for the Knights. So we'll go 4-on-4 for the next minute 22. One over to the near glass for McFarland. He's going to set it up over to the far side for Miller, who goes up center ice to Blevins. That's cut off by Resman, who's going to bring it in wide. Resman tries to center it over to Hicks on the far side. Hicks trying to drop it back. That's going to get chipped out of the zone by Perschbacher. Jake the Snake Resman in a foot race. He'll send it over to Cooper Hicks on the far side. Goes right up for Resman, over to Hicks. Hicks is going to bring it in wide. Snaps it on net, just wide of Kadich. Blevins pushes it through. And now it's Hicks back with Perschbacher. And they try to hit Perschbacher, and he can't settle a pass. They'll try to bring that right out in front. Hicks wheeling it down the near side. He brings it in. Hicks takes the elbow from McFarland, and Blevins will bring it in. Cooper Hicks will knock it away. Triad shoots and scores. Glove side, right off the post. That'll make it 2-0 Knights with 2:19 left to go in the second period. Still another 13 seconds left to go on the 4-on-4. Hoyt on the draw. Perschbacher picks it up as Hoyt wins it back. Puck makes its way over to Render. Up the boards for Ravik. He leads it for Hoyt, but he can't settle it. Cleared all the way down the ice. No icing as Bulldogs had the extra man on the power play. Ravik up the boards looking for Hoyt. Hoyt tries to knock it down. Render and Gunter trying to poke it forward. Blevins brings it back in. Foley with a poke check to knock it away for Gunter. Gunter with the big reverse hit on Perschbacher. So Perschbacher will dump it into the zone. And the Knights are now back to full strength. Moravik sends it right up to Gunter. Gunter tries to get it over to Render, but he's not ready for the pass. Nemo will pick it up at center ice. He's going to bring it in wide. Nemo centers it. Can't get it over to Gunter as he gets his stick lifted. Fired in front. Kadich chips it out of the way, and Knights will fire that down the ice. That'll be an icing whistle in an O-zone to the left of Kadich. 10:58 left to go in the second period. 2-0 Knights is the score. Nimmo on the draw. He takes the body, but the Knights will come away with it. Rosenberg up the near glass. Lines up, sends it over to the far side for Carey. Carey brings it in, poke checked away by Resman. Resman will clear it over to Hicks. Hicks settles it, brings it in wide. He's bodied off the puck by Davis. Jake the Snake Resman works it over to Justin Lai, who skates it out of the zone up the boards for Weiss. Weiss fans on it, but Lai will pick up the loose puck. Over to Resman, who throws it in, but doesn't make it in very deep. Weiss in on the forecheck. Nimmo can't hold at the blue line. And Lai will pick it up at the Bulldogs' blue line, and he'll decide to wheel it in. And they're going to say that was an offside whistle or a hold. Let's say that was offside, and they'll pull it back out to just off the near glass outside the Triad defensive zone. We'll get Hazelhorst, Gunter, and Resman up front, backed up by Resman and Hicks on D. Resman skates it right up the center, gets it over to Hazelhorst, shot, blockered away. Resman throws it on net on the backhand. Over to the far boards, Resman dumps it down low. Josh Resman chases to the corner, tries to center it. Nobody's able to settle it. It's out to Resman at the point. Resman throws it in, and Kadich will make a save, and he'll freeze that puck for a whistle with 9:46 left to go in the second period. Resman on the draw. They're going to toss Blevins out of the face-off circle. Moore will come in to face Resman. Resman picks up the loose puck, tries to center it. Gunter can't get it on net. Resman trying to drop it back. Knights will pick it up, exit the zone. Hirschbacher will bring it in. He'll throw that on net, and Konieczny will cover that up for a whistle to face off to his left with 9:32 left to go in the second period. Hoyt on the draw. Wins it back to Aravik. Aravik tries to rim it around. Knights will cut that off. They center it. Cleared out by Tolley. Howard gets it out of the zone and up to Hoyt. Hoyt brings it in with Rinder. Hoyt centers it. Rinder, forehand backhand. Can't get it on. Got it on net, but Kadich makes the leg pad save, and now it's back the other way. Hoyt picks it away from Blevins. Goes back up the boards, looking for Howard. Bouncing puck. Rinder pokes it away, and Rinder collides with Kadich as he comes out to play the puck. Hauer with a big hit at center ice, and Hirschbacher brings that in, fires a shot, save, and Aravik will clean it up. Tries to go up the boards for Hauer, but that looked like it was offside, but Urich was able to hold. They throw that one right in front of the net. A bouncing puck goes up over the shoulder of Konieczny, and it's 3-0 Knights with 8:32 left to go in the second period. Nimmo on the draw with Wallace and Hicks on the wings. Nimmo gets it up to Wallace. He'll throw it on net. Kadich will set it up for Matheny. Matheny chops it out of the zone. Carey will find it on the near glass. He'll wind up. Lie back to defend. They throw it out to the blue line. That's going to go all the way down. Kadich out to set it up. Wallace comes in to put some pressure on. McDowell almost turns it over there behind his own net. And they'll chip it out around Lai at the point. Resman back to pick it up. Gets it over to Lai. Lai winds up. Brings it in offside. Extra stick handle right there at the blue line. Causes Nimmo to go in early. And we'll get a face-off off the near glass. We'll get Resman, Gunter, Horn, backed up by Jake the Snake, Resman, and Lai. Knights win it back. Send it over to Urick. He'll clear it up and out of the zone. Lai knocks it down. Gunter will pick up the loose puck. He's going to bring that in wide. Nobody in front of the net. Gunter skates it right in front. Shot goes wide off of Kadich. That's cleared down the ice by the Knights. They're going to wave that off. They'll drop it off at the point. Urick will throw one on net. That goes off a stick and up high off the glass. And Resman will clear that down the ice and thrown back in offside by the Knights. They'll have to tag up. Gunter tries to poke it forward. Resman over to Gunter. Gunter's shot jams away. Kadich denies him on 3 quick shots. Horn from his own zone. Takes it into the corner. Far stretch pass over to Resman. He'll chip it in and off his stick and chase. Knights will get back on side and they'll set it back up. Over to the near side for Urick. He'll throw that one wide. That goes off the blocker of Konieczny. Boyd will try to rim it around. Cut off by Perschbacher and Rosenberg. Shot from Perschbacher, saved by Konieczny. That's going to get cleared down the ice. They're going to say neither of the Knights on the board could have played that puck. And with 6 minutes left to go in the second period, Knights have the lead 3-0. Hoyt on the draw. Wins it back to Cooper Hicks. Hicks gets his stick lifted. Ravik will bail him out. Clears it out of the zone, but the Knights will bring it back in. That was offside. Nimmo trying to clear it out, find some open ice. He'll go right up the center. Tries to hit Hoyt, but McDowell will cut that off. And Hoyt will regroup. Right up the center to Nimmo. He's going off for a change. Weiss trying to pick up the loose puck. It's thrown into the zone. Ravik will chase into the corner. He's flat out held. No call. It's going to get thrown out to the point for Hicks. And Cooper Hicks will wheel it out of the zone. He's going to throw it in. Bouncing puck goes wide to Kadich. Hicks trying to work it back out front. Davis will cut that off for the Knights. Out to the point for Tolley. He'll throw it back down and in. McFarland sends it back out to the point. That'll get cleared down the ice by the Knights. That'll be an icing whistle as they wait till the last second to blow that whistle. With 4:37 left to go in the second, Knights have a 3-0 lead. Resman wins it back to Gunter. Forced out of the zone by the Knights. Fly back to pick it up. He'll try to get it up to Resman, but that's cut off by Miller. It'll make its way to Hicks. Hicks will skate it through the slot. Fires a shot. That goes over the crossbar. Out to Tolley at the point. He'll fire it towards the net. That's blocked down by McFarland. Hicks takes it into the corner. Out to Lie at the point. He'll throw it over for Gunter towards the net. Off the skate of Hicks. Tolley over on the far side. Tolley back down to pinch again. He's cross-checked down from behind. And now they're going to call it. They're going to send Tolley to the box after Bushagian comes in cross-checking. And now the Bulldogs have to kill off another penalty. That should be at least two. It should be one from each team. And with 3:43 left to go in the second, Bulldogs will have yet another penalty to kill off. We'll get Hoyt, Nemo, Rinder, and Resman out to take the draw. They fire that one off the off the post as they had Konechny beat. He skated in, fire a shot. Rinder gloves it down. Centered by the Knights. Nemo drops to the knee to block a shot, and Resman will clear that out. Hoyt in on the forecheck. McFarland wheels it through center ice. They'll bring it in. Skates it wide. Fires it. Goal. Beats Konechny. Glove side. And it's 4-0 Knights with 3:08. And Konechny's getting chased out of the net. And it'll be Drennan coming in. Hoyt on the draw. One over to Nemo. Nemo brings it in wide. Feeds it over to Hoyt. Hoyt shot. Goal! And it's 4-1. Bulldogs start their battle back with 2:57 left to go. And they find the back of the net. Hoyt back on the draw with Orn and Nemo. Brought in by Nemo. Hoyt picks it up wide. Hoyt skates it in. Shot! Rebound cleared up by the Knights. They'll send it over to the far side. Looking to lead Rosenberg. Resman will get there. Turns, fires it back up to Orn. Orn trying to jam it out of the zone, but Davis picks it away. Centered by Ravik. And Nemo's going to clear that down the ice. He's not taking any chances. And they'll take the face-off to the right of Drennan in net for the Bulldogs. With 2:30 left to go in the second period. 4-1 is the score. Bulldogs trailing by 1. Got a quick goal after a goaltending change. Resman wins it back. Ravik tries to rim it around. That's going to make its way to the Knights. Resman picks it away. That's Josh Flavor. He sends it over to the near side for Gunter. Gunter's going to wind up with Hicks. He'll throw it into the corner for Hicks. Hicks will chase. Gets his pocket picked by McFarland, and that's going to get lifted up into the netting, and we'll get a face-off to the right of Kadich. Resman wins it back to Gunter, and he's unable to settle it. The Knights will clear it out. Knocked away by Resman. Gunter brings it in. Going to skate it in wide. He's held by McFarland. Shot. Goal! No, they wave it off. No goal. And now they're going to say the Bulldogs had a penalty on the play? My goodness. That's a high stick. And now who's going to the box? We're going to say Resman committed a trip and give the Knights their 5th power play of the game, I do believe. That could be 6. With 1:43 left to go in the second period, they'll take the face off to the left to Drennan. Hoyt takes the draw. Knights get it. Shot saved Drennan. He'll clear it over to the far boards. McFarland dumps it in for the Knights. They fire another one. Shot saved by Drennan. They try for the wraparound. Perschbacher working it back and forth. He'll take it over to the corner. Out front. Throws it off the inboards. And Cooper Hicks will clear that up the boards. Knocked down with a high stick by the Knights. And they'll blow the whistle on it finally. They'll take the face off at center ice. Hoyt on the draw. Looking to win it over to Rinder. He wins it back to Hicks. Hicks can't settle it at his feet, and Moore will bring it in for the Knights. They try to send it through the top of the crease, and it goes all the way over to the far boards. Back down low for Perschbacher. He tries to make a move. Picked away by Cooper Hicks. He pokes it all the way out to the point for McFarland, who throws it in right in front. Shot saved by Drennan. Hoyt clears it down the ice. That's knocked down again by a high stick, but they're going to let it play. Back up the boards for Blevins. Resman will get a stick in the lane, and that's cleared back down the ice by the Bulldogs. Chipped into the zone. Hicks is going to go in to play it as Carey comes in on to put some pressure on. Knights work it out front. Urick hit at the blue line. In shot save, Drennan. Hicks battling over on the far boards. They send that through the top of the crease. And that'll do it for the end of the second period. 4-1 is the score. Bulldogs trailing. When we come back to the third period, we've got another 17 seconds left to kill off on the penalty kill before we're back to full strength. We'll be back in just a minute with your final 14 minutes of play from RP Lumber Center. Brennan skates out to the crease to start the third period. We'll have Tolley and Resman on defense. Nemo and Rinder up front to kill off the last 17 seconds of the Resman penalty. Knights win it forward. They bring it in wide. Center it to Davis. Shot blocker saved by Drennan. Nemo wheels it down the far boards. He's going to bring it in wide with Rinder. Nemo right in front. Shot and couldn't get much on it. And Kadich will cover it up. They'll get a ozone face off to the right at Kadich with just 2 seconds left to go before Resman's out of the box. Knights take it into the corner. Tolley jamming away at the blue line, able to hold on to it. He throws it down and in. Back out to Tolley at the point. Knights clear it down the ice. Nemo's there to settle it. Nemo almost turns it over to Davis, but Resman will pick that off. He's going to bring it in wide and gets poked away by the Knights. He'll recover it, throw it down and in for Rinder, who turns it over to McFarland. Josh Resman working in the corner. Hicks there to help. He's going to skate it in. Shot save by Kadich. Hicks over to Resman. Resman throws it out to the point. That's wide to Tolley. Drennan out to settle it. He's going to shovel it up the boards for Resman. Carey will pick that off. And Knights will look to get set back up in their own zone. Hicks waiting as Rinder gets back on side. He'll blaze into the zone. Brings it in wide, throws the brakes on. Out to Resman, throws it towards the net. Back to Resman off a Knights stick. He's skating it down low. Gonna center it. And nobody's in front to pick up the trash. Out to Arabic at the point, who throws it back into the corner. Rimmed around. Hicks picks it away from Perschbacher. Out to the point for Resman. He's trying to chop it and hold the zone, but that's picked back off by Perschbacher. He wheels it in. Perschbacher brings it in. Shot saved by Drennan. And he'll freeze it for a whistle. With 12 minutes left to go in the third period. Bulldogs trailing 4-1. Hoyt takes the draw, wins it back to Hicks. Hicks is going to take it behind his own net. He'll throw the brakes on and look to get set up. Finds Gunter at center ice. Gunter winds up. He'll lift it down and in. Blockered away by Kadich. And quickly back out. Arabic ties up. Shot saved by Drennan. Gunter picks up the trash. Cleared up the boards. Finds Nemo. Nemo with a toe drag move, picked away by Miller. Now it's back the other way. Blevins taken into the boards by Arabic. Gunter ties up the man while Arabic tries to work it out of the zone. Gunter trying to work it north. Knights come away with it. Hicks, shot saved by Drennan. Glove down by Nemo. Stretch pass over to Gunter. Gunter throws it down and in. And Kadich will set it up for Miller. Pass cut off by Landon Hicks. Got the right one this time. Over to Rinder. Rinder pushes his way towards the net. That's cleared down the ice. You're going to say Tolley could have played that as Drennan will set it up for him. Tolley sends it around the inboards. Knights read that. They cut it off through center ice. And Lai will get it up to Landon Hicks, who makes a nice move to find some open ice. That's lofted out of the zone by Urich. And they're going to call that a hand pass. It's center ice. And we'll get a neutralized face-off with 10:14 left to go in the third period. Dogs trailing by 3. Hoyt on the draw. He'll pick it up over on the far boards. Brings it in wide around Urick. Right in front. And poked away by Kadich. Renderer takes the body. Hicks is working it down and in. No call on holding as Renderer shows they're literally holding his stick. And McFarland tying up Renderer. Again, no calls right in front of 2 referees. And yet we've had 6 penalties. Brennan pokes it away up the boards for Hicks. And they're going to give the Knights a power play. Shot saved by Drennan. Oh, my goodness. They're going to send Tolley to the box. I don't know how you don't call a penalty on any of that. Prior to that, there was holding at the other end. My goodness. One back by the Knights. McFarland sets it up, fires it in. Shot saved. Drennan makes another leg pad save. They send it through the top of the crease. Out to Perschbacher. He'll throw it back into the corner for McFarland. He'll send it far side. Shot. Saved by Drennan. Down low for Hicks. He'll drop it off for Nimmo. Nimmo comes in. Takes the stick of Blevins. Cut that off. Try to work it out in front, and Nimmo will cut it off. Fires it hard around the boards, and that'll come out around Urick. 8:48 left to go in the third period. Knights wind up through center ice. Walk right in front. Drennan with a save. Right back in front again. Drennan will clear it out. Centered, but cut off by Gunter. Kadich mishandles it, but able to recover it. Farland brings it in wide. Hicks will take him wide. Aravik cuts off McFarland. Renderer tries to fire it around the boards. And Aravik clears it out of the zone. Perschbacher lines up right through center ice. Knocked away by Hicks. And Knights are going out for a change. Hicks will bring it in wide. Cooper Flavor tries to center it, but nobody's able to get to it. And it's back the other way. A 2-on-1, Blevins and Perschbacher. Shot saved by Drennan, and he gets it covered up. $7:33 left to go in the third. We're going to take the face-off just outside of the Bulldog defensive zone. It'll be a point on the draw. Thrown down and in. Brennan will set it up for Resman. Resman up to Hoyt, turned over to Rosenberg. That'll go off the leg of Hicks. Hoyt will pick up the puck. Goes up the boards for Gunter. Gunter makes a move around McDowell. McDowell is literally every bit of the term holding, but okay. Chopped into the zone by Carey as Hoyt defends. Back down low for Resman. Knights will throw it back down and in where Landon Hicks will pick it up. Fans on the pass, and that's poked away by Drennan. Over to Hicks. Hicks winds up. Shot! Saved by Kadich with the stick. Out to the point, thrown back towards the net, and that's lofted out of the zone by the Knights. Resman back up the boards for Rinder. He'll drop it off for Gunter. Gunter walks it right in. Shot! Goal! Gunter beats Kadich. Blocker side low to make it 4-2. With 6:10 left to go in the third period. Knights are still lead by 2. Knights win it back. Kadich plays it up the boards. Going to come loose for Resman. Resman skates in, fires a shot off of Kadich. They're going to say that was a high stick by Wallace. And they let it play. Resman fires it wide. Knights wind up through center ice. They fire it. Goes wide. Wallace takes it over to the far boards. Perschbacher trying to work it out. Resman throwing the poke check. They try to send that off the near side of Drennan. He's got it sealed up. And Wallace tries to go right up the center for Nimmo, but that's cut off by the Knights. And they'll dump it back down and in. Out to the point for Urick. He's going to walk it in. Fires it. That's blocked by Resman. Going to come out to Nimmo at center ice. Nimmo poke checked away by the Knights. And now Perschbacher will pick it up, brings it in over the blue line, fires one off of Aravik. They send it back through the top of the crease. That's cut off. Gunter up to Hicks. Hicks brings it in, throws the brakes on, and Hoyt is held down and in. He'll work it around for Gunter. Gunter trying to work it out front, trying to find Hicks, who's set up shop right there in the blue paint. Out to lie at the blue line, but he's not able to hold. Knocked away. Gunter back to his own blue line. He'll send it over to Hicks. Over to Hoyt. Working to seal it up. He'll jam it into the zone, but nobody in on the forecheck with just under 4 minutes left to play. That's going to get cleared down the far side, and that'll be an icing whistle on the Knights and an O-zone face-off for the Bulldogs. With 3:53 left to go in the third period. 4-2 Knights is the score. Resman on the draw. Knights come away with it. We'll throw the brakes on. Fire a shot. Glove saved by Drennan. Kicked away. They try to center it. Back door. And broken up by Hicks. Lyle rim it all the way around for a waiting Winder on the far side who clears it out to neutral ice. Nimmo in on the forecheck. High comes in, takes the body. Resman with it. Gets it over to Rinder. Rinder winds up. He's going to bring it in wide. Rinder fires a shot. Saved by Kadich. With 3:07 left to go in the third period. Bulldogs trailing by 2. Highland will call a timeout with 3:07 left to go in the game, trailing by 2. We'll get Hoyt, Hicks, Gunter, Resman on defense. It's going to get one out to Resman at the point, chipped away by the Knights. And Josh Resman will pick it up, work it over to Jake the Snake Resman, over to Gunter, over to Hicks. Hicks is going to dance it in wide, tries to work it out in front. Out to Jake the Snake Resman, tries to get it over to Hoyt, but can't get much on it. Now it's the Knights back the other way. And that'll be an icing whistle and a no-zone face-off for the Bulldogs with 2:42 left to go in the third. Bulldogs trailing by 2. Face-off to the right, Kadich. Knights clean that up. They'll bring it out into neutral ice and dump it in. Nimmo chases to the corner. Hoyt will pick it up. It's going to wind up behind his own net. Hard up the boards for Resman, and now the Knights are going to lift it back down and in as they tag up. Resman tries to lead that down for Hoyt. Hoyt's going to get there. Urich in on the forecheck. Back to try to break it up. Just send that out to Resman at the blue line, who's tripped up. No call on that play, and Josh Resman will throw it back down and in. Bulldogs trying to crash the net, but now it's all Knights out at the point. And Hoyt back to break it up. He'll throw it back towards the blue line and down and in. We're going to rule the Knights could have played that with 1:40 left to go in the game. Bulldogs trailing by 2. Blevins brings it in. Spins off of Resman. He'll throw that wide to Drennan. Resman goes hard into the boards with Perschbacher. Perschbacher just trying to seal it up. 1:20 left to go in the game. Down low for Jake the Snake Resman. He's going to work it over to Josh Resman, who gets it up to Landon Hicks. Hicks winds up, brings it in wide. He's going to get a call, and he's taken hard into the boards. And now Rinder tied up with McFarland. McFarland's going to go, and it should also be McDowell. It'll be a 5-on-3 for the last 4 minutes of the game. They're going to put Rinder in the box. I'm not sure for what. So they'll give Renderer a 10-minute, and Orn will serve the penalty. Triad with 4 on the bench, or 4 on the ice. They have 2 in the box. It should only be 3. Now Triad's bringing out a 5th person. And Dow gets so we're going 4 on 6. That's one back to Tully. He walks it in, fires a shot, goes wide. 1 minute left to play in the 3rd period. And the Knights wheel it down with an empty net. And they'll seal the deal with 50 seconds left to go. They'll beat the Bulldogs 5-2. $50 seconds left to go in the game. And somebody's called a timeout. Demo on the draw with Hazelhorst and Wallace on the wings. Lai and Aravik backing them up. Hazelhorst will shovel it forward. We're going to clear that down the ice. Drennan will handle that and drop it off for Lai. Lai goes up the far side for Wallace, who chips it in, and he'll chase. They fire it back up the ice. Lai cuts it off, makes it over to Wallace. He'll drop it back to Aravik. And the Knights will pick it up with 26 seconds left to go. They'll throw that off of Wallace. Hazelhorst will shovel it into the zone. And the Knights will rim that hard around to the near boards. And they'll wave off the icing as Lai gets there to play it. 10 seconds left to go in the game. The final game of the season. Picked off by Blevins. He walks in, hands on the shot. Tries to walk it in, save Drennan. And gloved for Drennan. That'll do it. Final game of the season, the Bulldogs fall 5-2 to the Knights. Been a good season. Bulldogs, Varsity Bulldogs, falling just short of the 500 mark. I want to thank all the fans for tuning in, coming out to the games, and all the support. Everybody have a great Thursday evening. We'll see you back next year at the rink.